In the fallout that happened at Columbia University in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams made some huge accusations indicating that there were people who co-opted the protest movement taking place at the universities in New York City, and he indicated that he was going to be sharing this evidence with the people. Now, I will be playing those videos, but first, Eric Adams made a complete butt of himself, a jag-off of himself, on national TV when he was confronted with this, on BSDNC of all places, because it turns out he doesn't really have the proof that there's, well, any horrible, insidious people co-opting these protest movements. What we are witnessing here is a Democratic mayor, once again, indicating his disdain for the people. Hey, Chicago's got that same problem too. In fact, our wonderful mayor, Mayor Brandon Johnson, is telling the protesters that they can be nowhere near the United Center of the McCormick Place. What's up with Democratic mayors disrespecting the people? No right to protest. No way do they believe in the First Amendment, right? So first, let's play this video that recently came out. Breaking news: Eric Adams makes an ass out of himself.
By all of this, but we've heard from your team that there are these nameless leaders who were involved. Can you tell us who they were?
And who are the nameless leaders? In fact, we're going to do a polling question. Is it Putin? Type 1 for Putin. Type 2 for Xi Jinping. Type 3 for the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Humongous. If you got that Road Warrior reference, I love you. Or if it's somebody else, type who it is. Who are these people? What you mean these people? Who? A bird goes tweet, Eric. 7 seconds in. Who is it?
Or at least how many of them there are?
Well, first, I always suspected that something was happening, and I'm happy that the confirmation of my suspicion turned out to be accurate when our intelligence...
Hold on, buddy. You hold on. Put your pants on and stop mooning the audience and show us your face, okay? Oh, wait, you are showing us your face. You had a suspicious feeling? If this had been a conservative protest, I would still be reacting the same way. Okay? Where is the intelligence proof? Where is the evidence? Just like George Bush Jr. saying, there's WMDs in Iraq. Really? Did we ever find those? Let's rewind that again one more time.
By all of this, but we've heard from your team that there are these nameless leaders who were involved. Can you tell us who they were? Or at least how many of them there are?
Well, first, I always suspected that something was happening, and I'm happy that the confirmation of my suspicion turned out to be accurate when our intelligence division briefed me on two particular individuals. One of them, husband, was arrested for terrorism as well. Some of the paraphernalia and pamphlets that we saw, individuals we saw who were not CUNY students, were there training individuals. We saw the escalation of the tactics.
Are you just naming things off a list? Or do you actually have names, people, photos, proof? I don't know. The detectives in the NYPD actually do police work and actually show you the evidence? Because the American people should be asking that. And I don't care where you stand politically. Even if you are against the protesters, you should be asking that. That should be, okay, who is this person? What are they about? If you are making these accusations, Mr. Mayor, then you need to show it. And I don't care how you feel about the protests, but you better be demanding proof. And if you are going to be that arrogant and smug and be like, oh, those protesters got what they deserved, or, oh, well, the mayor of New York said so. Okay, fine. So when then another mayor in a different state, no matter what state you live in, red or blue, starts cracking down on protests that you agree with, just remember, this guy is setting a dangerous precedent. You should not be cheering for this. You should be pissed off. Where is the proof? Who did it? And are you arresting civilians, U.S. citizens, for acting on their First Amendment right to protest? Just like the people of January 6th had a right to protest. and speak out, just like libertarians have a right to speak out. Greens, socialists, Trumpers, hell, even Biden supporters. Everyone has a right to protest and free speech. What this man is doing, this mayor is doing, is setting a precedent for everyone to be cracked down on. But because he had a feeling, they're going off a hearsay
that were being used. And so it has been reported on some of the individuals that just stated. I choose not to give notoriety to people who participate in activities like that, but it has been online. The police department has been.
So somebody posted what, a video online? What would they post? Was it a meme? Was it a meme? Was it this video that pissed you off? Hey, who remembers this gem?
Hey, Eric Adams. Yeah, fuck you. You support the genocide in Palestine. There are homeless people all over New York. You're always partying. You don't actually care about the citizens of New York. Why are you even in Miami? You know there are people being arrested there. People are homeless in New York. People cannot afford food. You keep cutting the education budget so you can fund the police. That's all you care about, funding the police. Everything is underfunded because of you.
Trying to get this holding the line.
I love this right here. Just right here.
Hey, Eric Adams.
Well, yeah, I am. Yeah, that's me. I'm Eric Adams.
Yeah, fuck you.
Pure gold. I love it.
Reported, and I'm sure if you reach out to the intelligence division, they'll give you based on the information we want to release. And this is extremely active, continue to evolve, and we want to continue to do the thorough investigations that we have been doing.
Thorough investigation that you've been doing. Really? Proof? Evidence? Well, hey, this just came out. Shout out to the Gray Zone, who's doing fantastic work, by the way. Shout out to Max Blumenthal and his whole team, including Wyatt Reed, who they both co-wrote this article. This came out today, May 2nd. So please support the Gray Zone. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click a copy and paste it in here for the live stream chat for all of you beautiful people to share, because follow Max Blumenthal and Wyatt Reed. So who is this person? Oh, my goodness. Rebecca Weiner, Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism, NYPD. Okay, well, the violent crackdown carried out on Columbia University students protesting Israel's genocidal assault on the Gaza Strip was led by a member of the school's own faculty. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has declared. During a May 1st press conference, just hours after the New York Police Department nearly arrested 300 people on university grounds, Adams praised adjutant Columbia professor Rebecca Weiner, who moonlights as the head of the NYPD Counterterrorism Bureau, for giving police the green light to clear out anti-genocide students by force. Oh, Columbia. Listen, Gen Z and the next generation after. And it's the social responsibility of boomers, Gen Xers, and millennials now to share this piece of advice with the young people. After all the recent crackdowns that we have been seeing at all these universities, this once again adds further fuel to my statement of do not put young people into the college industrial complex. Break away from it. Go to trade schools. All right? Go to a community college. Okay? Get an apprenticeship. Or if you do want to go to a university, maybe go overseas where college is either free or affordable. It is your responsibility to tell the next generation, don't. Because so many young people who's been spending a lot of their hard-earned money, cash, student loans, and all that at these universities have made it abundantly clear what they think about you. Do not, if you're a young person, this is me not trying to block you, but this is me trying to help you. Save yourself from being indebted and enslaved to the college industrial complex, because otherwise, you got people like this to worry about. That's right. That's right. Break away from it. On April 30th, dozens of police in riot gear descended on Columbia's Hamilton Hall after students seized the building earlier in the day, citing a request from the administration. As several hours later, officers used heavy armored NYPD Beat Bearcat vehicle to enter the building through the window on the second floor and arrested those inside, while another team swept up members of the encampment outside. Starting on April 17th, students at Columbia escalated their ongoing protests against Israel's genocidal assault on the besieged Gaza Strip. They encamped on the school grounds, stating their refusal to leave until the university fully divested its Israeli-related investments. These universities won't do that, young people. And by the way, where was AOC at? Where were those progressive Democrats that care? Nowhere to be found. The protest model has been spread to over 100 universities in the U.S. and even been taken abroad, with similar actions occurring in Leeds University in the U.K. and Sorbonne in Paris. I hope I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. Just a few hundred meters from the Gaza protest encampment, Weiner maintained an office at Columbia Schools of International Public Affairs. Her SIPA bio describes her as an adjunct associate professor of international public affairs. Ooh la la, long title name. Well, I too am the assistant adjutant vice principal professor, scientist, doctor, lawyer at international public affairs here in the city of Chicago. See, I gave myself a long name title too, but you could just call me the king, and I'm nuts. Who simultaneously serves as a civilian executive in charge of the New York City Police Department's Intelligence Counterterrorism Bureau. So when Mayor Eric Adams said he had a feeling, it's because good old Rebecca said, help, 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 help. My name's Rebecca Weiner, and these students are hurting my feelings. I'm crying. That's who probably gave the mayor the intelligence. It wasn't police work. That's who did it, right? Isn't that special? In that role, Weiner develops policy and strategic priorities for the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau and publicly represents the NYPD in matters involving counterterrorism and, you guessed it, hold on, let me just get this right. Think, intelligence, big brain. Woo! These are the people keeping us safe. Hey, do you feel safe? Type 1 for yes, kid, you awful sexist man. You bigot. You are a horrible human being. Type 2, man, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe at all, but I ain't afraid. Oh, my goodness. Again, continuing on. A 2011 Associated Press investigation revealed that the so-called demographics unit operated secretly within the NYPD's Counterterrorism and Intelligence Bureau. This shadowy outfit spied on Muslims around New York City area and even on students at campuses outside the state who were involved in Palestine solidarity activism. So in other words, it's not only NSA and FBI that are spying on you. It's your local state government and its police forces too. They're looking in on you. They're checking you out. Here, let me pull this article back up again. The unit was developed in tandem with the, you guessed it, you know them and love them, the CIA. Hi, John. Hi, Fred. Those are my CIA handlers. Bill and Bob are my FBI handlers. John, Fred, how you doing? Wave to the audience. Which has refused to name the former Middle East station chief it posted in the senior ranks of the NYPD Intelligence Division. Wow. The demographics unit, horrible name, by the way, appears to be inspired by Israeli intelligence. You don't say. I'm shocked. As well, as a former police official told the AP, the unit attempted to map the city's human terrain through a program model in part of how Israel authorities operate in the West Bank. So in other words, someday, because of the way censorship is being run in this country, you're going to get a knock at the door of political police. I didn't say FBI. I said political police. And that one should make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The lawyer by training, Weiner oversaw negotiations between the NYPD and lawyers for local Muslims who had their civil liberties violated by its demographics unit. Weiner is a granddaughter of Stanislaw alum and Polish-Jewish mathematician who helped conceive the hydrogen bomb as part of the Manhattan Project. I'm very proud of that legacy. Oh, God. Weiner said of her grandfather's work upon being appointed as NYPD's intelligence chief. The hydrogen bomb. Listen, lady, do yourself a favor. Don't go to Hiroshima then, okay? You're very proud of it? You know what? Matter of fact, I take that back. If you're so freaking proud of it, then go to Hiroshima. Go to Hiroshima. Go to Nagasaki. Tell everybody what your grandpappy did. Jesus Christ. This is the person. Again, I encourage everyone to read the full article from the Gray Zone. So please, again, click copying and pasting, and I will be posting this link in the video clip as well. There you go. So everyone can share it. Because I just want to pull up, again, showing Mayor Eric Adams' hypocrisy. New York City mayor, it's despicable schools would allow another country's flag to fly in America. Hold on, let me get this out of the way. So apparently from this article from The Hill, the mayor is just angry. He's upset. Here's a video of him saying this.
It's despicable that schools will allow another country's flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
You said it, buddy. Hypocrisy much? What we got here? Hey, look. All right. See, it got blocked by the New York Times. But anyways, look. There's Ireland. Oh, there's a whole lot of flags. Look at this. There's a whole lot of flags here, man. Mr. Mayor, what are you doing, you hypocrite? Are you showing your butt? Mayor, what about this? What about this right here? What? What are you doing? Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, what are you doing? What you doing? But hey, check it. Check it. It's not the first time our politicians are showing their butt. Look at this. There's all the Ukrainian flags in Congress. And there's everyone's favorite Frankenstein monster, John Fetterman, draped in the Israeli flag. Yeah, go ahead. Now, Mayor, talk more about your feelings and what you saw happening at these protests.
Oh, well, there were two operations tonight. One was with CUNY and one was with Columbia University. And once I became aware of the outside agitators who were part of this operation, as Columbia mentioned in their letter and their request with the New York City Police Department, it was clear we had to take appropriate actions. When our intelligence division identified those who were professionals, well-trained, one of them was married to someone that was arrested for terrorism. We knew these children were being exploited and they were in danger.
Really? How are they being exploited when they made the choice to do that, okay? Everyone has a right to protest, okay? You don't have to agree with what they're saying, but that is their constitutional right within the First Amendment. But at this point, do we have a First Amendment anymore? I don't know. That is kind of important here, because when you have a mayor cracking down or saying he has a feeling, it means somebody whispered in his ear and said, you better crack down on those protesters or we're going to make your life uncomfortable. I mean, who knows?
And would have been irresponsible not to reply to requests from Columbia University.
Mr. Mayor, when you say that the protests have been co-opted by professional outside agitators, how do you distinguish between those outside agitators and students who are just protesting peacefully? And who is this individual who is connected to a terrorist?
Well,
yeah, who is this person? Who is this magical, mystical person? Is it the Shredder? I mean, I know he terrorizes New York City from time to time, but that's what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles do. They take care of him. Is it Dr. Octopus? Or the Kingpin? I mean, Spider-Man's got that. Is it the Mandarin? Oh, Tony Stark's got that. Who is it? Who is it? Who is responsible? Who's the perpetrator? Tell us. We got to know.
And it's not singular, it's plural, several organizations and groups. I want to be clear on that.
Oh, so it's a whole big cabal. So it's a Sinister Six. It's it's Shredder and the Foot Clan. You know, they're all working together. It's a crisis on multiple Earths. The villains are teaming up.
We did not take this action lightly. And once the Columbia University team and leadership in their letter acknowledging that outside agitators were on their campus grounds. We looked at our intel and information. I was briefed by the intelligence division, and they were able to identify organizations and individuals who were not students, but were professional agitators. And we realized after the breaking into Hamilton Hall, some of the tactics, some of the methods, these are clearly being used across the globe. And we understood that how really dangerous this situation had become.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, buddy, Mr. Mayor, who's this person or groups of people? Or are just the groups of people just students using their First Amendment right?
But Mr. Mayor, give us some information on who this individual or individuals who are connected to terror.
A very rare moment from corporate media actually doing a follow-through question. Let's rewind that again.
The breaking into Hamilton Hall, some of the tactics, some of the methods, these are clearly being used across the globe. And we understood that how really dangerous this situation had become.
Okay, but Mr. Mayor, give us some information on who this individual or individuals who are connected to terrorism found themselves in police custody, which I'm guessing they are now in police custody?
Well, if you look at...
Get ready for a 25-second word salad.
And you can find this information. They're proudly acknowledging themselves on social media platforms, and I'm going to let the intelligence division do their job.
He can't give a name.
On what information should be released and what information should not be released. And when we do an analysis of all those who were arrested, a substantial number of them were not students of CUNY and were not students of Columbia University. And the method...
We'll rewind that again so you can hear it one more time.
These are clearly being used across the globe, and we understood that how really dangerous this situation had become.
Okay, but Mr. Mayor, give us some information on who this individual or individuals who are connected to terrorism found themselves in police custody, which I'm guessing they are now in police custody?
Well, if you look at, you can find this information. They're proudly acknowledging themselves on social media platforms, and I'm going to let the intelligence division do their job on what information should be released and what information should not be released. And when we do an analysis of all those who were arrested, a substantial number of them were not students of CUNY and were not students of Columbia University.
He can't give a name because they don't have a name. He's saying that they're probably posting their names and who they are on social media. Who is this great villain? Who's this great villain that's just going to do a big face reveal and like, if you are against the protests, this should concern you. What this shows is you have an elected official. I don't care if he's a Democrat, because a Republican can do this too. You have an elected official cracking down on a supposed feeling with no information, with stuff that they are not sharing with the public, because after all, the press, the people have a right to know who is this potential threat, who is this terrorist, who is this bad guy or bad people, and they can't name names now. So let's have democracy in the chat, because this is important, especially for those who don't like the protests. Just know this. This can also happen to you if you piss off the powers that be. We're all in this together. And our First Amendment is slipping far, far away. So let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 for Kit. The mayor is going to be responsible. And very soon we're going to find out who is the terrorists and the bad people. Because we got to stop them because they're bad. Or type 2, we're never going to find out. In fact, they're going to hope that all of you conveniently forget about it. I wonder how many 2s will get in the chat. I wonder. But who did it? A bird goes tweet and an owl goes who? But before we end this segment, let's at least have a palate cleanser.
So you're Eric Adams? Yeah, fuck you! You support the genocide in Palestine. There are homeless people all over New York. You're always partying. You don't actually care about the citizens of New York. Why are you even in Miami? You know there are people being arrested there. People are homeless in New York. People cannot afford food. You keep cutting the education budget so you can fund the police. That's all you care about, funding the police. Everything is underfunded because of you.
Trying to get this. Holding the line.